So I make a lot of mistakes. And Tom Walsh, who's been one of my very best friends since 5th grade, who's here with his wife Kathy for the first time, he's watched me make mistakes for 55 years. Last week I made a really interesting mistake. While texting the phrase, "Make America Great Again," to another friend, I mistakenly kept going and typed, "Make America Great Against." And I quickly corrected it, but then I stopped and I thought, wow, that really is revealing. We often ask celebrants of the MAGA movement, well, when do you think America was so great? Just so that we can point out, well, women couldn't vote back then, or gay couples couldn't marry back then, or black and white friends couldn't dine together back then. But this erroneous phrasing really got me thinking, what does the red MAGA hat stand for? We see it here every week. When a passing driver yells at Connie's pride flag, "Trump," they're saying, "I'm against you for that." When the driver goes by me and my American flag and my red, white, and blue love your neighbor sign and gives me the middle finger, they're saying, "I'm against your version of the flag. I'm against your emphasis on love, and I'm certainly against your definition of neighbor." So a big part of what we're experiencing in this country, and what we've been dealing with for a decade now, is an attempt to make America great against all that we stand here for on the corner every week. They want to make America great against those who attempt to reconcile racial differences and disparate treatment. They want to make America great against governmental policies going back to the New Deal and the Great Society to lift the poor and to secure futures for all. They want to make America great against those who focus more on the go after sinners than on the love your neighbors and treat others well part of religion. They want to make America great against the variety of diversity, the fairness of equity, the welcoming of inclusion. At its foundation, the MAGA movement is make America great against the principles that underlie Justice Southbury's mission to cultivate an inclusive community where all are treated fairly and welcomed as equals. Socrates said that virtue is its own reward, arguing that virtuous actions lead to fulfillment even without external gratification. MAGA is against those virtues that I strive for, despite my many mistakes. They're against everything that you stand here for today and every week. At a different rally, and someone texted there was a guy here with a Trump flag this morning, and at a rally like that, you might hear power is its own reward, or gold is its own reward, or punishment is its own reward. When Julia and I began the process of trying to figure out whether and how Justice Southbury might evolve from an angry group chanting Black Lives Matter to a more effective advocacy group, starting 273 weeks ago, we knew we couldn't just be against something. We had to be clear about what we were fighting for. We were motivated by Martin Luther King's statement that, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. This week, I read another MLK version of his quote. He said, MLK said, "We will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the hateful words and actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of the good people." I think we are those good people, but those who oppose us may think that we are the bad people. That's fine. That's America. We get to disagree. But whichever side we're on, we must continue to refuse to be silent. We must continue to stand up not just against what we see and despise, but we also must continue to stand up for the country and the community we want to live in. If we're clear about our goals, then we can develop our themes. If our themes are positive and uplifting, we can engage with those who share our values. If we can engage, then we can influence public opinion. If we can influence public opinion, then we can increase public support. And if we can increase public support, we can help to bring about change. Each one of us can play a role in positive change. So let's keep doing it, even as MAG is against us.